Good evening, Room 207 students. How are you doing today? And I'm here with Rossi, and we're going to do our nightly reading of Crenshaw. And after last night's reading, I noticed that something was not quite right, and I went back, and that's what good readers do, and you can do this too. And I realized I had skipped a whole chapter. I skipped the chapter last Friday before the chapter where where Jackson and his dad go to Best Buy to watch the baseball game. And so now, because good readers do this too, they check themselves and they go back and reread, and I've taught you that before. I did that and I realized I missed a whole chapter, so I'm going to go back and reread it now, and then things will make more sense to me. Okay? And let's see if you can figure out what it is that will make more sense as I read along, being that Jackson and his dad ended up at Best Buy watching that game, okay? All right, so this is the real chapter 33. Ready? And we're going to ask questions as we read because that's what good readers do. Saturday morning, I woke up, went into the living room, and found a big empty spot where our TV had been. The room looked naked without it. My dad was making breakfast. Pancakes and bacon. We hadn't had pancakes and bacon in a really long time. Robin was sitting at the kitchen table. Aretha was drooling, and Robin's chin was gooey with syrup. Daddy made me pancakes shaped like ours for Robin. Do you have a letter preference? My dad asked me. He was using his cane, which meant he wasn't feeling great. You okay? I asked. The cane? He shrugged. Just a little insurance policy. I hugged him. Plain old circle pancakes would be great, I said. Where's Mom? Picked up an extra breakfast shift at Toast. Toast must be the name of the restaurant she works at. Sounds like they have maybe good breakfast there. Daddy sold the TV to Marisol, Robin said. She jutted out her lower lip to make sure we knew she wasn't happy. Marisol? I repeated. I saw her dad while I was taking out the trash. My dad said as he poured perfect circles of batter into a pan. We were talking about the game today and how his TV had conked out. And one thing led to another. He had the cash, I had the TV, and the rest is history. But how are you and I going to watch the game? I asked. So that's a hint to why they ended up at Best Buy, right? We're going to Best Buy it. I grabbed a strip of bacon. What's that mean? My dad adjusted the heat on the stove. You'll see. Where there's a will, there's a way. Aretha liked watching Curious George, said Robin. She set down her plate and Aretha licked it clean. You may be interested to hear that Curious George began his existence as a character in a book, said my dad as he flipped a pancake. In any case, this family needs to spend more quality time together. You know, play cards, maybe, or even Monopoly. I like Chutes and Ladders, said Robin. Me too, my dad tossed a little chunk of bacon to Aretha. Too much TV rots your brain. You love TV, I said while I started loading the dishwasher. That's because TV's already rotted it. There's still hope for you two. It didn't take long for my breakfast to be ready. Nice work on the pancakes, I said. Thanks. I do have a certain flair. My dad pointed his spatula at me. I saw Marisol when Carlos and I were carrying in the TV. She said to remind you about the Grouchers' dachshunds. Yeah, we're walking them tomorrow. Are dachshunds wiener dogs? Robin asked. Yes, ma'am, my dad nodded. You know, Jax. I haven't seen much of Dawn or Ryan or anybody else lately. What's up with that? I don't know. Dawn and Ryan are doing soccer camp. Everybody does different stuff in the summer. My dad put some dishes in the sink. His back was turned to me. I'm really sorry about soccer camp, Jax. Just couldn't swing it. What does his dad mean by that, couldn't swing it? So there's a question that I'd like to know the answer to. No biggie, I said. I'm kind of growing out of soccer. Yeah, my dad said softly, that happens. I stared at the sweet steam spinning from my pancakes. I tried hard not to think about Marisol watching our TV. feeling sorry for us while we played Chutes and Ladders and ate bran cereal out of a T-ball cap. When I tried not to be annoyed at myself for worrying about something so unimportant. Then I tried not to be annoyed at myself for worrying about something so unimportant. See, I asked myself, does that make sense? And it didn't, so I had to go back and double check. And I said when instead of then, and it really changes the meaning of the story. Of the sentence. Then I tried not to be annoyed at myself for worrying about something so unimportant. I grabbed my fork and knife and sliced up my pancakes. Whoa, said my dad. Ease up, Zorro. I looked up confused. Who's Zorro? Masked guy, good with swords? My dad pointed to my plate. You were getting a little carried away with the slice and dice action. I looked down at my pancakes. It was true. I'd destroyed them pretty well, but that wasn't what got my attention. In the middle of my plate, surrounded by maple syrup mush, were slices of pancakes, neatly forming letters. C-R-E-N-S-H-A-W. Maybe it was my imagination. Maybe not. In any case, I scarfed them down before anyone could notice. And I have a student in the past, I just found this posted in here that said, what does scarfed mean? Asking questions while she read. She read. I wonder who wrote that. That was when I taught 3rd grade one year, and this I used this book as a group reading. All right, that is the real chapter 33 of Crenshaw. Are you saying hello with your paw? The real chapter 33 in Crenshaw, and the next chapter is the one I read incorrectly as chapter 33, where they go to Best Buy and watch the baseball game, and then the one after that is the one I read last night, chapter 35, I believe it was, when the game was over and they went to pet food when Jackson takes a little cookie. All right, and then tomorrow I will see you, and we'll be back where we left off at chapter 36. Okay, have a good rest of your night, Rossi. Are you done, Rossi? You look a little sleepy, Rossi. Say goodbye. Have a good rest of your night. I miss you all very much, and I can't wait for the day that I see you again in the halls at Bagley. Okay, good night.